First I gotta get the list. Okay.
You should have said that before I hit the button. Oh well, it's not a sad thing now. Hey, what's up guys, this is Orion SR2264 and I am here with my dear friend Zayana and we're here to talk about horror films. I will let her go first.
One of my favorite horror films that I just got to watching was named Stalled. I don't know if you've ever heard of it before.
I have not heard of that.
But it is so... It's so stupid, okay? So it's pretty much like this guy trapped inside of like a... What is it? A toilet. But it's in a public restroom.
A public toilet?
Yeah, and then, what do you call it? But it's not actually public because it's in his fucking... I'm sorry. I don't know if I should cuss. It's inside of his...
You can cuss if you want, but I personally just don't.
It's inside of his building of work, right? And then, so he gets stuck in there, and he finds out that there's like this huge virus that broke out inside of his entire building, and then once he gets stuck inside of one stall, like literally all these zombies keep coming inside of there, and they're trying to attack him in there, and then he finds this chick, like one stall over, and then he falls in love with her, finds out that she's not actually the one that he thought she was, and then, yeah, he breaks out in the end. And then she gets eaten by by a crap ton of zombies.
Wow.
And then he gets stuck inside of a phone booth at the end.
Well.
I'm waiting for phone booth. Oh my god.
Man, that would be terrible, especially with the bathrooms at Eldorado Market, where I've now found not one but 2 dead mice.
Eldorado Market?
Yeah,
oh, you mean your job?
Yes. Yeah, I cleaned up one of them, but the other one, well, let's just say I went in there to go poop. I haven't had poop come out that quickly in a long time.
You gotta be kidding me.
I don't like rats. I don't like mice at all. Speaking of things I also don't like giant robots trying to kill me. That's why one of my personal favorite horror films of this year, and at least at the time of this, all time, Willy's Wonderland. Basically, Nick Cage in an awesome Camaro gets stuck in the middle of nowhere, and he's sent to go clean a rundown Chuck E. Cheese. And then he murders all the robots inside. Except for the hot one. He doesn't kill that one.
Are you kidding me?
Okay. Now, I know that's weird for some, but Siren Sarah? Now, this you have to remember, this all started with my grandfather when it comes to fairy creatures and having crushing on them. So, it's obviously genetic. And she's actually kind of badass, too. Lots of sharp teeth and blue hair. And there's definitely something about me and blue. I highly recommend it. I mean, it's kind of stupid, and I mean, it just kind of is. And the middle of the film runs to a grinding halt, and I
Bitter stop.
still do not understand for the life of me why, after entering a place where you know animatronics are killing you, why you would be at that point turned on and attempt to do the deed where many a family were killed, including the owners. I really do not understand why. I understand, like, I mean, the whole stupid teen thing, but it's like, why would you be doing that there? Of all the places, that is the worst place, especially where you have a giant robot alligator who eats you. Not gonna lie, those effects are really nice.
Halloween? Alright.
Which one?
So, there's another one. What's it called? It's called When the Night Eats the Living. And this is one of the sad ones. I'm sorry, I'm obsessed with zombie movies right now.
That's fine. I don't have any issue with that.
Yeah, and then, okay, this one's sad, and then I listened to it with my headphones in, and at the same time I was under a blanket, and it was pitch black inside of my entire house. So, it was extra awesome, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And, so I heard all the sound effects and everything, and there was one scene where it just kept, like, you could hear, like, something running down to him, and he lives inside of an apartment building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody inside of his apartment building is either a zombie or they're dead, and he blocked off all the sides of the apartment so that they can't get in. And he only did this because, like, he was breaking up with his chick, his girlfriend, and he came to tell her we're all over, right? They were having a party at the time he did this, and then he got locked inside her fucking back room, right?
Mm-hmm.
So as that happened, like, everybody in the they were making so much noise, like, when the night came to eat the living, pretty much, and the virus broke out, or whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everybody in the loud-ass room, they all got killed. including his girlfriend. And
That's one way to get rid of her.
Lord. And then
Zombie apocalypse.
and then she pretty much like he pretty much what was it? Oh yeah, he blocked out everything inside of her apartment building. He decided to go get more food, and then he like climbed out of a vent into like the other rooms, got found like all the other food and brought it back to his one. I remember there was like a noise on top of his building, and he was like, I don't know if this is like another thing up there. He went up there only to find out that it was just the upstairs, and he was the very top of the apartment. And he started collecting water in buckets. And I think if the world ever ends, that's probably a good idea to collect water like that. Oh my god.
Well, that would definitely be a good idea. Water is very important.
Yeah.
Water, food, and oxygen.
But yeah, he found another girl, except he killed her right away, but he thought that he didn't kill her because it was like in his mind. He was like, oh no, I'm here all alone, and it's like crazy. Yeah, but only to find out that she actually literally hopped, like housed roof to roof, like on top of the roofs. And he did the same thing at the end of the movie and pretty much like tried to find some place to like hide out at. Now, I want to talk apocalyptic scenarios with you
Alright.
because I'm interested in this. Like, if the world was to come to an end right now, what would be your plan? What would you do?
Well, you see, I've got a truck over there. Number one, I would attempt to drive all the way out to the middle of the Nevada desert and just wait there.
Yep, that's what I think too. But don't do it just like that. Like, what if it's, like, it kind of is pointed toward which apocalyptic scenario is actually happening.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, it could be like if like an asteroid came out and hit someplace. Like that was one of the movies that I watched recently. It hit New York, and it took out all the lights and the government.
Good, finally.
Except that was a bad thing. But
that would not be a bad thing to me. They could wipe out the entirety of New York City.
Well, what do you call it? Because like they were living like how we live right now, so realistic. And I was like, if this was how the world was to be like if it were to end right now, this is how it would be like for the people that it ended for.
Yeah, pretty
like
much.
we'd be sitting inside of fucking cars eating peanuts and talking about anime, and then
That sounds fun.
yeah, and then
Maybe that will be our next
but
podcast.
you wouldn't be able to find any food, you wouldn't be able to find any water because money is not there's no such thing as that anymore, and everybody's just like going around like politely asking to go into people's houses.
Right.
Can I come in here and just take some stuff real quick? I'm hungry. And then stealing cars and stuff and just like going around. But they don't even steal them. Sometimes they just ask for them because they're like, I have a baby. You don't have anything. You're just one person. They're just like, all right, I'll give you the keys. That's hilarious stuff. But yeah, I feel like that would be like the most modern way of how it would be if the world were to end. And that movie just pretty much went out like and showed that. But in an apocalyptic scenario, like if there was, what is that called? You know Chernobyl? Like when it like
radiation.
Yeah, like that. If that happened, what would you do? That's a different one, right?
Yeah, that'd be a completely
There's one
different
where there's
crap.
like, oh, there's people eating each other, or there's one where it's like, there's a nuclear explosion that just freaking happened, or there's a meteor that just hit somewhere on this planet.
If there was something like Chernobyl in our local area, we'd be screwed no matter what. Unless we were able, the only way you could survive that is if you
had a bunker or something.
Yeah, if you go down, you'd be able to survive it, or if you got far enough away. But either one is relatively unlikely because my basement's probably crawling with.
You have a basement?
I do.
That's good.
Yeah, but it may or may not have rats.
I'd be the crazy one and just buy a bunch of tin, like those...
tinfoil?
No, tinfoil hats. I want tinfoil. No, what do you call them? Like the linoleum food that stays for like ever.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Freeze-dried?
Yeah, like dried berries and stuff.
They taste awful.
I know, but if you have to live, that's the only
Coming
thing
from the Eagle Scout, they taste awful.
Grab gallons of water, like a lot of water. But don't buy the water. You don't have to buy it. Sometimes you can just like get it from your.
Yeah, I was about to say there's a.
You can have like
huge
sink
lake over there.
You can do that just for like
get water filters.
If that's just for like
water
cleaning yourself and stuff,
Yeah, there's these little packets.
You have to go back into the days when they used to clean each other in like the tubs and stuff. Mama, can you clean my back? Like that. Right? And then, you gotta get, like, the little water and then rub it off. Like, that's how we're gonna be living if there's ever an apocalyptic scenario like that. Just do not go outside for at least 30 years.
Yeah, that would be the biggest one.
Because if you do go outside, you're gonna get radiation poisoning and you don't know.
And that's no fun, because you won't turn into Godzilla that way.
No, you'll just turn into skin and bones and die.
Yeah, I learned that half the hard way.
It's not fun. No, you didn't learn it.
Well, I got
You're not skin and bones and dying. You're fine.
I did get a 2-degree burn on my back once.
Same. But it's not on my back. It's on my leg.
How do you get sunburns? See, I
not
get
a sunburn.
The moment I walk outside, sunburn.
It was something completely different.
Well, maybe we won't get into that.
3rd-degree burns are when you can't feel it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Mine, I can feel it still. So.
Yeah, those are the scary ones.
You can feel your skin right
there. When it comes to zombie apocalypse, depending on the type of zombie, because you have the slow, walking, normal zombies, and then you have
the
fast
different zombies. That is
zombies. Then you have a subculture of zombies called the Flood from a little video game. You may have heard of it. It's called Halo.
So many different zombies. It's not even
if it was the grandma zombies, I think I'd
the slow ones will be fine. Okay, we can outrun them.
Yeah, I'm gonna become the frickin'
just gotta walk a little
I'm gonna be the effing Doom guy and just kick ass that way. If it's fast zombies,
we're dead. World War Z?
Yeah.
Can't do it.
We're screwed. You'd have to get away for that one. If it was the Flood, I'd attempt to leave the planet.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible. You're not gonna live.
Because the Flood, they eat anything. It's kind of weird because basically the Flood creatures will latch on to a living thing, and the Flood move as one. Like all their minds are connected. It's creepy and not fun to deal with, and especially when you have 1 billion of them trying to kill you and you only have 2 shots of shotgun left. Good times, Halo.
There we are. Resident Evil. Those zombies are...
That would be walking in the park.
Easy.
Just give me a shotgun, I can take them out.
You can take out a thing that looks like it's the size... Oh, look, there's a squirrel coming.
Squirrels are evil creatures.
So cute. He's just hopping.
Have you not seen Mark Roper's video on squirrels?
Bro, are you kidding me? You're so uncultured now. Toast. Look at him. I'm sorry, that's so cute. He doesn't even care about us.
You also think rats are cute, so...
Rats are cute.
No, they're not.
They can be pets. They can be eaten by your cats.
You know, I think when it comes to rats, the best thing I can say is screw my Uncle Sean. He can go die in a ditch. Because he was the one who made me afraid of rats. And there are 2 people over there with pumpkins on their head.
That's what Sully said she wanted to do earlier, by the way.
What doesn't that?
She said she wanted to cut a pumpkin open and put it on her head.
What doesn't
and I
she
want
to do?
So, like, you want to do it later?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
I've got a truck.
She said she saw a pumpkin patch somewhere. I think it was...
I was going to go to Safeway.
You're just going to fucking go to
Safeway? Billion miles that way.
I'm going to Food for Less. Get a pumpkin. Got that stuff.
I don't have any of my
Put it on my head. Take a picture with it.
You'd have to buy knives as well, because...
Get some glow sticks.
Yeah, there you go, sticks. But,
looks super badass. No,
since you talked about a second horror film, I'll go on to my second horror film.
Right.
The Thing. I don't know if you've seen it. I highly recommend it.
I'm not sure that I have. If you describe it a little bit to me, then maybe I have.
Basically, a bunch of dudes are stuck in the ass end of nowhere, and it's covered in snow. And a dog comes out of nowhere, and some people in a helicopter are shooting at it, and the Americans protect the dog and destroy the guys who are shooting at the dog. But the dog isn't exactly a dog. The dog is a creature known as the Thing. And it can morph into whatever creature it needs to be.
That's a real creature, though. It's folklore.
Anyways.
It's not the Thing, though.
That's what it's called. It's called the Thing. No, not exactly. Well, anyways.
Hey, look. That's awesome. I'm sorry.
I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of biased towards helmets. If it's not the Master Chief, Doom guy,
that's
or
not
the
a helmet, though. That's an actual fucking pumpkin on some dude's head.
I honestly don't. I don't know. They look like plastic masks. I could be completely wrong, by the way. But
we're doing it. Photo shoot with pumpkins.
Alright.
I'm gonna put my goggles on.
Yeah, send a message to Sue and see if she's interested. Maybe we can meet up somewhere.
Oh no, she's getting her hair done now.
Oh yeah, that's gonna take at least half a day.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna lie, probably will.
Yeah, this took me like 10 seconds. Anyways, oh no, my phone fell asleep. Oh, it's still recording. Sweet. Oh yeah, it went over 15 minutes. That's when my phone turns itself off. Anyways, the thing, it's about a bunch of people trapped in this trapped in this base in Antarctica, surviving this creature that's picking them off one by one, and this creature takes over some of the crewmates and becomes the crewmates. So the survivors have to figure out who's a thing and who isn't. Yes, it is very similar to the popular game Among Us, but the thing came out in 1980
This
something.
is nothing like Among Us. Come on, you gotta calm down.
The thing came first, and a really good horror film. The reason I think this film is one of the best is because the pacing is good, the characters are entertaining, and the creature effects, I mean, they are the best practical effects in Hollywood.
Have you listened to any creepypastas before?
I have indeed.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Got any favorites?
That's hard to say. I don't remember. Two come to mind. I don't remember what the second one was called, but the first one, I believe, was called Trapped at Freddy's.
I know what you're talking about.
That was a fun little horror film. Or a little horror creepypasta. It's just eerie. I mean...
That's the point. It's supposed to be a little bit eerie.
But, I don't know. There's something about being stuck with those creatures.
The thing... That literally is a creepypasta. That's a full-on creepypasta. I've heard it before. That's why I remember that.
Maybe those things
I haven't watched the movie. I heard the story, though.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's so good. Don't watch the prequel.
The story itself, I feel like when you listen to stuff, it brings your imagination awake. Like, even watching
does.
a movie. And when I read books and stuff, like, it's just, like, the same way. But it's even more because you don't have the voices. And then, but if I watch the movie, it's going to probably be a little different than what I think.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
It is in my mind, right?
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I like that.
And, anyways, the thing is awesome. There's a prequel to it, and there's a sequel video game. And I've watched the cutscenes of the sequel video game, and, it's okay.
Never mind.
Yeah, it gets kind of confusing, because it goes from The Thing, released in the 80s, and then in the early 2000s there was a video game, and then in 2011 there's a prequel called The Thing, obviously. And it basically tells the events right before the movie. And more or less, everybody dies. But, anyways, I highly recommend The Thing. I know it's one of those extremely popular ones, but there's a reason. So.
Sorry, I'm killing it.
Why? Ants aren't evil.
They deserve to die in hell.
No,
They're all evil.
If anything
the accursed things.
If anything needs to die in hell, it's bees. Screw bees.
Bees are beautiful things.
Except
pieces of shits only when they bite you and sting you, but they're very nice.
Or in my case, the only thing I got stung by was that stupid caterpillar. Okay, I know that sounds really weird.
A caterpillar?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Okay, well, let me explain. Because it kind of ties into horror. Family trip with my aunt from my dad's side, which is always horrible because, well, you know, family. Got him. I hope they don't watch this. Anyways, we were at the New Orleans Zoo. I don't remember the name of it. And after running around, checking out all the animals, we got to the alligator section where I met the worst creature I've ever met in my whole life. And if I ever go back, I will destroy it. I don't care what the costs are. It is the Louisiana swamp monster. It is a creature from hell. Okay, granted, it's just a mannequin dressed up as a creature, but it's scary. It's creepy. Oh man, if you have the ability to look it up, I don't recommend it because you might not sleep for a month. But man, that scared me so badly. And later that day, I don't even know how else to describe it other than I was doing this on the side rails, kind of.
With your fingers, or did you have like a little?
No, it was just my fingers, kind of like pretending like you're a parkour thing and jumping over things.
Okay. All Alright.
And there are these species of caterpillars with spikes on them. And I pricked one, and it hurt a lot. I think I spent that rest of the day in
Crying
pain.
about it. You're in your bathroom crying about it.
Manly men don't
In your
cry.
tub, curled up with a blanket.
At the
Crying
time,
about it.
I don't remember crying about that. But I definitely cried about that freaking swamp monster. If it wasn't for the fact that I was doing a podcast, and I'd show you what it looks like on my phone. But it's creepy.
Yeah. I recently went to Six Flags. Don't recommend. They are kind of scammers, I'm not gonna lie.
Really? You didn't like it?
Well, yeah, we were supposed to go to like the Fright Nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or Fright Fest, whatever.
Whatever it's called.
So it was Fright Fest. We never got to go in because they freaking stamped us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have proof of that. And they never actually did let us back in. Like, they were, as soon as like we left out, they said, "Oh yeah, you can come back in."
Oh, and you couldn't get back in?
Yeah, and then we drove back in to come back in, you know, because one of our
that's-
friends, she needed like insulin for her blood, and then what do you call it?
You
And
couldn't get back in?
Yeah, she was just like,
Oh.
"I'm so sorry, you can't come back in."
That's bull right there. That's wrong.
So we cursed her out and drove away.
Yeah, that sucks. That wouldn't happen to me. I'd be like, oh, hell no, we're getting in today.
We're gonna crash through it with our truck.
Hell yeah. Just whatever you do, don't tell my grandpa that I may or may not have destroyed this truck.
Oh my god. But yeah, but before that, it was a lot of fun. I went on the Superman, almost got my neck broke. It was so fun.
Well, I'm glad you had fun.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't have been funner if we all went together as friends at the senior trip. Frickin' China. Damn COVID.
Oh my god, that would have been actually a lot of fun that I think about it.
No! That kind of ruined the entirety of 2020.
The entirety of 2020
so
was ruined as
looking
soon
forward
as
to that.
coronavirus was like even announced.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, corona."
Yeah, 2 weeks.
We were all fucked instantly.
Yeah, pretty much. I talked about 2 horror films. I'll let you talk about another one.
All right, let's see what I got in here. Well, I've practically talked about 3 because there was another one in there.
Alright, what's the horror? Oh.
But let me see if I can find another one. If I remember. No, that's not even a horror film. It's just fucking weird. I'm sorry.
Well.
Have you ever heard of Griffin the Invisible? I think he's like...
What the hell is Griffin the Invisible?
I think he's not DC, but he's like the other...
Marvel?
There you go. I'm sorry. I'm so against Marvel that I forget their name.
At least you gotta let's
I'm so
see.
against it. What's wrong with me? Okay,
I'm figuring that I haven't watched a Marvel product after they killed Thanos. Nor do I plan on it.
Alright, Silent Hill. I mean, I've watched it a long time ago and I love everything about it. The series, the games. I might even like go back and rewatch like all the movies and the series like for the game right now because I just want to. I'll watch it on a normal day. Forget Halloween, okay? But what do you call it? But yeah, I really want to go to like the actual place where, you know, Silent Hill is based off of.
That would be creepy.
Would you ever think about doing it?
I don't know. I mean, I think it'd be fun, but man, it'd be creepy. It really would.
You're gonna go there. You get to hear like the fire under the ground and stuff.
Man, that'd be quite scary.
Yeah, it's flaming down there forever. Never gonna stop. I'm kidding. I don't know when it's gonna stop. I just know it will.
I don't know.
Actually, probably.
I think it'd be kind of cool to go
It's
see.
like fossil fields almost. But yeah, it'll be eerie because like people, like not people, but like I think houses has went underground and sunk underground into like the fire.
Yeah, that would be creepy.
Imagine that. Imagine like opening the ground, like the cement on the ground, and then seeing flames under. That would be sick, actually. It's like looking into hell. You know?
I don't know if I'd want to look into hell after playing Doom Eternal.
I wouldn't want to look into hell ever, but like it's so cool.
Yeah, I guess that would be
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
cool. Alright, well, one of the another recent horror film that I had the displeasure of watching, which really sucks, because I was really kind of looking forward to it because the concept sounded really cool. It is a British American project. The correct words are crazy British person. It was pretty much one guy made a horror film, and comparing it to some of the other ones that I've watched, like Never Hike Alone, amazing. But I'm kind of biased towards Jason Voorhees. But anyways, getting back on topic, it is called Benny Loves You. Oh man, is it bad. Now, I understand acting isn't going to be perfect. I also understand that the British sense of humor does not equal the American sense of humor, but there are just certain things that the film just doesn't do. And it's so basically the film's plot is this guy, he's getting older and he has a bunch of these toy animals and he decides to get rid of one called Benny, which is basically an Elmo reject. And I wish I was joking about that, but it truly it looks like Elmo with a blue vest and bunny ears.
And what?
And bunny ears. I wish I was kidding. And it's just to me, the ultimate problem with the film is it's not creepy at all. It just...
I don't think any horror films are scary, though.
Well, to me, if you're going to do something like that, you really should go into it and make
it, like, extra scary.
Yes,
just, like,
go right into it. The best way I can explain it, which I'll actually do... I've actually done a small video talking about all of that, which I may or may not link to the end of this. But basically... If you're going to do it, you got to do it the Daisy Duck approach. You got to go from clean to old and worn out. Because it just, to me, that works a lot better. Oh, hey!
Where are they?
Those are some friends I haven't seen in a billion years.
Oh, all you had to do was come to a nice park, sit down, and watch them skate by, and bicycle by.
They're not too... Actually, they're a pretty decent ways away from where they live, now that I think, unless they moved.
They probably moved over here.
But,
Dude, it's nice over here. It's, like, really nice.
That's not the first person I ran into today. I also ran into a high school teacher at Target, Miss Fonseca.
Really? I haven't run into her since I got out of school.
I ran into her.
Dude, I went back to the high school literally, like, a week ago and 2 weeks ago after that, and before that. And I didn't run into any of the teachers.
No, I saw her at Target today, so... I didn't say anything, but I was like, wait a minute.
Sorry, that was a firework.
Alright, my sanity is still intact.
Calm down.
Man,
they might do that a lot to Halloween.
Ah, great.
Especially over here.
Well.
Because, like, I love over there.
Anyways, getting back on topic. I feel like they could have done so much more with Benny Loves You, and they just don't. It's just kind of lame. Wish they did more with the premise, because it is, in my opinion, a really creative premise, and they don't go far enough with it, in my opinion. Which I've taken that personally, so I'm working on my own horror film to one of them.
So what you're saying is, if you start something that's supposed to be scary, you should try and bring it with as much power as you can. That way, you know, you can get as much from like that.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. All right.
Yeah, because they do it. The weirdest part is they're able to do that perfectly in the beginning of the film. I mean, it's probably some squirrels making love.
No, over there. Over there, it sounds like birds doing it. Over there, it sounds like little squirrels doing it.
I don't know. They all kind of sound the same, especially after learning.
No, it doesn't. You can't hear it.
I don't know.
Sounds like an old guy.
I don't know if that has any relevance, but anyways.
Whatever, just go like this. Distractions.
Benny Loves You is I will admit the CGI doesn't look bad, but it's CGI, so it already looks bad by default. So there's that. So anyways, moving on. What's another film you would like to talk about?
Let's see if I have any more that actually love. Those are the ones that I watched very recently. That's why I love them, I guess.
Man, that kid grew fast.
I was old. It's not good. I'm just kidding. It's very good. I mean, I don't know.
Can't think of another one?
Well, I can think of them, but I'm pretty sure you've already watched them before. Or if you haven't, well, then I guess I recommend them to you. One of them is The Cursed.
I have not heard of that one.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
I've been falling in love with, what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg, right? You know who that is.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome actor. Well, that's
awesome
why...
is a stretch, but...
Shush. Get off of my bat mouth.
Yeah, I'm biased if it's not Chris Pratt or Harrison Ford.
I have way more favorite actors than that. But what do you call it? He's one of them. And I fell in love with him like last year, I think. I was like loving all the works that he made. because he knows how to get his words out there. Like, he knows how to talk very well. And one of them was The Cursed. I watched that one. It wasn't like a main one, but it was okay. So he pretty much was like a werewolf in that. It's an old film. So came out like in early 2000s.
That's considered old?
Yes. You're like, what, 91 years old? Come on, bro.
Man, it's kind of weird to think that the early 2000s are now considered old.
Yeah, we're
well,
old
granted,
people.
Shrek
Are you
is
kidding?
20
Get out
years
of here.
old. Yeah, it is. It's 20 years old. Figuring that I'm 19 and Halo Combat Evolved is also 20 years old, and Jimmy Neutron is also
The best
20
thing
years
ever.
old. That's obvious.
Yeah, it's obvious. Brain blast, I'm sorry.
This guy, when I was growing up, that was 90% of my childhood. That was like
it was
at least 50.
Phantom, Jimmy Neutron, Fairly Odd Parents, all the old stuff. I was just like in there with that.
Not SpongeBob.
Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding.
Dude, I used to fight kids over that. SpongeBob is the best.
It was one of those things where I didn't grow up with.
You didn't?
I did not. My parents
They
didn't.
didn't like just turn on an episode of SpongeBob and just like.
I mean,
watch
I
that.
will admit I saw a bunch growing up, but I never really got into it.
Huh.
Not at the same degree. More or less because I had a nightmare because of one of the episodes.
Really? What episode?
I don't remember what it's called, but everyone drinks this kelp juice and they start turning fuzzy.
I know what you're talking about. Immediate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Orion, I'm scared of
That
everything.
is not scary. That is so cool. I thought that concept was awesome.
Well, granted, you're talking to the same person who couldn't handle Barney getting his head eaten off when he was 8 years old, so you know.
I bet you that looked so cheesy too.
It doesn't. I mean,
I bet you it does. It was like, and it has like little sprouts of blood coming out of the neck or something.
Didn't look cheesy to me. Did not look cheesy to me.
There wasn't even any
I
gore.
swear. If I ever meet Weird Al, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Nah, I'm just kidding.
He's awesome. You gotta say what's up to him, take a picture with him, and then
yeah. Well, if I ever meet him, I'm gonna say, your Jurassic Park video scarred me for life. I think he'd laugh at it and then apologize.
Jurassic Park?
Yeah, the Jurassic Park Weird Al music video. I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I did indeed. When I was talking about one of my horror projects.
Well then, we're going way back since I just talked about that one. We're going way back to like I think it was like 90s or 70s when this came out. It's one of my favorite horror films. I watched it. I used to watch it like every single day, every single minute. I turned it on right after it went off. I turned it back on, Right. That's how obsessed I was with it.
Yeah, my dad's like that.
And I was like 8 years old when I would do that. Like, my family was so annoyed with me. They were annoyed with me. But I love that. Like, I would be into the movie so much. It's named Maximum Overdrive. Do you know what it is?
I do indeed. Maximum Overdrive. I know what you're talking about.
Maximum Overdrive. And that's how I fell in love with, like, dude, I forgot the music. Like...
Hard rock?
No, boy. I'm talking about the band, not hard rock in general. But yeah, their main like playlist for the entire thing was just them, and that's why I fell in love with them. I was like, oh, that's awesome. But what do you call it? So that movie, we like my entire family made a lot of memes out of that movie. Like we just know it instantly as soon as we reference one thing. And then there was also this other movie because like my entire family, I'm not even gonna lie, they're all obsessed with like what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. You know who made the movie Sleepwalkers, or when they bury the people in the
I don't know.
Pet Cemetery?
Oh, Stephen King.
There you go. That's our guy right there. If you want to watch or read any book that's scary, you go to him, Steven Spielberg. No, I'm just kidding.
What you mean? You go to Goosebumps
You go
and
to
just look at the
Steven
covers.
Spielberg anytime.
Steven Spielberg's awesome.
I'm kidding. No. He's not scary, though.
I don't know. At the right age, I'm sure. Well, if my dad is anything to go off of, at the right age, Jaws can really scare you.
Jaws.
My dad can...
I was like, 5 years old watching that, and I was like, this is not scary.
Well,
It's pretty cool, though. Oh man, that takes me all the way back to
Yeah, when my dad watched Jaws when he was really little, back in the late 70s, early 80s.
Dude, why can't I think of any names right now?
And he wasn't able to take a bath for like at least a month.
I'm sorry, I'm dead.
He got his revenge when I watched that Weird Al Jurassic Park video,
Oh,
and
there
I
you
couldn't
are.
sleep for a month.
Tales from the Creep. That was my childhood right there. I used to love that. But we also made references from that too. You know, like when the chick, she like takes a random stranger on on a ride back to their house, right?
Mhm.
And then she just drops them off, and they just like, "Thanks for the ride, lady." They say that she says it so much throughout the entire episode that my family just started saying. It's like the biggest meme ever.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I swear. But I love like Tales from the Creep and all of them. And then there's also like all the old stuff is just the best. I feel like they used to make movies like better than.
Oh yeah, no, without a doubt.
For sure.
I mean, all the new Star Wars films suck.
I mean,
So.
if I could like rewatch a movie like 1,000 times in one day, they probably made that stuff so good that even a kid couldn't get distracted by it. Like it was that bad.
To me, it comes down to creativity. I mean, how many reboots, how many sequels are you seeing?
I don't like all the reboots and the sequels.
I mean, just this year alone, they're doing another Ghostbusters. So, I hope it's good.
It's not gonna be. No, I'm just kidding. Testing.
I mean, Ghostbusters, James Bond, what was it, Suicide Squad. I mean, they're just...
Oh, come on. Don't make another one of Suicide Squad.
That was actually...
The first one was okay. Like, I watched it. It was okay.
I liked the second
I didn't
one.
hate it. Everybody else was like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever created on planet
was
Earth.
right
But I
in my
think
eyes.
it's okay.
I liked the new one. I thought it was good.
Now, let's talk about Teletubbies. That's also scary. Now.
The right person. Yeah,
Yep,
Slendy
you're not even
Tubbies.
wrong. Yep.
Yeah, Slendy Tubbies. That was creepy.
I didn't like it. I remember my mom always tried to get me to watch it. And I was like, I don't know who you think I am. I'm not going to watch some scary-looking son talking to me.
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there are certain... if we're talking children's material that scared me, oh man, where do I begin?
You just said SpongeBob scared you. Are you kidding me?
What was the... there was something... Oh,
Courage of the Cowardly Dog, my favorite show when I was younger.
yeah, that scared me.
Did that scare you?
Yeah, because you gotta remember, because I watched the Puppet episode. That was like the first one I watched.
Oh, you mean the one where there was like a scarecrow outside and all that?
No, it's the one where at the end everyone turns into a puppet
Oh yeah, I
except
think I know
Courage.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the first one I watched. So, not a great story.
I love that show. Oh my god.
What was the other? Oh,
Stupid
Willy
dog.
Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Oh my god, I remember that. I used to love that movie too. I would call my sister like the Blueberry because you know they blow it up, turn blue. So I tried to paint her blue one time.
That's messed up.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I didn't like that film.
I love that film.
I mean, nowadays I do enjoy it.
I mean, like
but-
when you go back and see it, like they actually had a lot of good effects for when the time
yeah.
it was made and all that stuff. So not too bad.
Well, and then a little film called Star Wars came out and kind of blew that away.
You were like, oh my god, Star Wars! Oh,
Hell
yes.
yeah.
Like that.
I could be here for days talking about Star Wars.
I know you can.
I won't, but I'm tempted.
Don't.
I know, it's not your thing.
Mm,
It's okay.
let's see. Oh yes, I forgot all about this movie. I just saw it on my list. The Bellco Experiment. You know what that is?
I do indeed. That was weird.
My
But it was
mom and
cool.
dad watched it, and they're all like, "People's head was exploding." I was like, "There's more to it than just that."
Yeah, that would be a fun kind of apocalypse scenario.
Yeah,
or
but
else,
it's an experiment. Like,
Stuck
what would
in
you
it.
actually do? Like, I don't understand why they like.
oh, it'd be game
The
on.
the employees were like
Oh,
so naive to actually
yeah,
get those
I mean,
chips in their
Why
head.
would like that'd
Are
be
you
my
kidding
whole
me?
thing. Like, why would you ever?
I would
you
quit
ever-
right then and there. Forget my job. I'm
Yeah,
like,
the hell with that.
I'm gonna become one with nature. I'm gonna grow into a tree.
exactly.
Like, forget all this.
Screw that.
But yeah, I don't understand why they would do that in the first place. And then,
Money.
yeah, it was
Oh,
funny.
there's another thing.
They wanted to grow and get to the top. They wanted to grow so bad that when they went crazy, they actually started going
Yeah,
crazy
blowing
on
them
each
up.
other.
Killing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I thought it was hilarious. There's so many scenes I was just busting up laughing at.
Oh, speaking of horror films that are funny, I don't know if you've seen it, but Tremors.
Tell me about it.
Basically, these two guys work in the middle of nowhere in the desert, and they're handymen. And they want to leave this little town, and the little town is attacked by creatures under the ground called graboids. The easiest way I can describe them are giant worms running through the ground, kind of like sharks. They eat pretty much anything, but they don't have eyes, so the way they eat or kill you is vibration on the ground, and they'll grab you.
They just come up out of the ground and just...
Yeah, and they eat you.
See, that reminds me of another Tales from the Crypt episode.
Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
No,
where
why,
they're
why
like-
haven't you seen Tremors yet?
Well, you just
See-
recommended it to me, so I'm gonna see it now. But
Hey, that's what we should do. Call up Sue and let's go to like her place or something and watch Tremors.
She is probably at her friend's house.
I mean,
But what do you
I
call
would
it?
recommend my place, but it's kind of full of junk.
Oh, my place is cool right now.
Yeah,
not
but
doing
I'll probably get shot.
Yesterday, no, you won't get shot.
Yeah, right.
You'll be fine.
Mm-hmm. Famous last words. Nah, you'll be fine.
Crypto was shot today. But what do you call it? What was I saying? Oh yeah, you remind me of a Tales from the Crypt episode. It was when so like they were it's like this teenage group. They all went in like this swimming. It's more of a lake kind of situation, and they went out there to have fun and just swim in the lake, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except when they got out there, they started getting pulled inside of the water, and they didn't understand what was going on. They were just getting pulled under the water. Then they got stuck on like, what's that called? Where you tack a boat to the side of it?
A dock.
Yeah, there you go. They got stuck on the dock, right?
Mm.
And yeah, it just like there's this thing that was just like coming out of the ground from the water,
Yes.
pulling them under.
Off-brand anime creatures.
And then it broke open the freaking dock and made it slide out into the lake, into the water. So they were just like free roaming inside the water with this thing under them.
Mm.
That's what that just reminded me of. Tremors, for sure.
Yeah, kind of. But in the sand, so you can't really escape it. But, Tremors is awesome. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
It's very
How long are
funny.
we going to?
Very funny. So,
45?
we can. We have approximately 1 hour and 189 hours remaining of storage, so we can talk for as long as you so desire. At least until that runs out and it gets too
Oh, I'm
dark.
running out of things to talk about. Okay, let's see.
Let's see, another. Well,
Oh my god. It's not really scary, but it's one of my favorite movies ever created on the planet Earth. Besides Maximum Overdrive. And a lot of other ones. I can't pick my favorite. Be quiet, okay?
yeah, neither can I.
One of them is The Devil. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of that.
The
It's
Devil.
also a Jesse Eisenberg film.
I have not.
It's the one that actually made me fall in love. You know, with his acting skills. So, The Devil is about... It's pretty much like this guy that he thinks he's like the worst version of himself, right? And he's like, nobody cares about him. His life sucks, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And he works at like this, what is it called? It's like a factory almost. And he handles like the documents. It's kind of old. It's an old film a little bit. Early 2000s again. But what do you call it? So, randomly, one day, there's just this one guy that just comes in and he looks exactly like him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But nobody else notices that he looks like him. And he just starts working in his building. And he's just like, what is... Does nobody know that he's literally like a twin brother to me? He looks like a twin brother. But he has no twin brother, so that's confusing. And then, he just follows him home one day. They start talking to each other. It's okay at first, and then it goes really insane near the end there. It's a crazy, twisting, complicated plot. And it's not even just about what the thing is about. It's about, like, the characteristics of the film itself.
Mm.
It's about the traits of the characters themselves.
Right.
Like, it's more of, like, a mind thing rather than just, like, a
You have
film
to actually think.
depicting something. Yeah, you have to actually put your mind to what's actually going on. And I think I like that about the film. It's so crazy. And I definitely recommend it to anyone, including you. Watch it. I will stab you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Rude. No.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the first time a girl wanted to stab me. But another, not exactly a horror film, but Halloween film, The Addams Family, from '91. I watched it today. Classic. One of my personal favorites. Just a fun film. Family and jokes are just timeless. So, basically, this family is really weird.
Oh,
and,
so like my family.
Yeah.
The Addams family.
And basically, the main character is trying to get his brother
Got
back.
my goggles on. You know that song? You don't know that song, right?
I don't.
It's alright. You're fine.
Yeah, I've been kind of blasting the Doom soundtrack for the last couple of days, so, you know. I really enjoy it. I prefer the original remixed.
Do you need scary music to blast? I've got you
Probably.
covered. I've got you covered. No Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
I know they blare Michael Jackson every single day of Halloween, like on October. It doesn't matter what day it is. It could be the first day of October.
Well, speaking of Michael Jackson, the music video Thriller, one of my personal favorites. And the way I actually originally watched it was through a Lego stop motion video that's still on YouTube 13 plus years later. Not even lying. I've been on YouTube that long.
Everybody's been on YouTube that long. I look back at some old videos and I'm like, wow, it's 13 years old? Like, I'm alive. I've been alive for 13 years. But yeah, of course I have, because I hit 13. Crazy.
Yeah.
2.5 decades, I say. We're almost there, buddy. We're almost 20.
Yeah, I know. I'm just glad I have my life together, unlike last year.
Was it not together?
Not really. I mean, I now have my license, I got a job, almost got a car, going to school.
Almost got a car. What?
Yeah, technically that's my grandfather's truck, not mine.
I was like, I have to keep paying payments on it.
Yeah. If I ever find the time. Time to sit down and do things. And before we end, Jaws, masterpiece. I mean, it just is. Yes, the shark does look kind of fake, but to me, it's just, there are certain scenes.
Oh, you're lying, aren't you?
There are certain scenes where the shark looks amazing.
Yeah, there are, but mostly it just looks fake.
Yeah, it looks kind of fake.
That's why I never got scared of it when I was a kid.
And they're in the water, so.
Have you ever watched any of like the true horror film? It's more like they used to come on TV all the time. It's like you know, when you're getting haunted by something.
Oh, Ghost Hunters?
No, I've never watched Ghost Hunters.
Me neither.
But I'm pretty sure Zach Bagans is pretty.
You know, speaking of stuff like that, imagine being paid. I don't know how much money and having
to act as
many,
a scare, like you can scare something.
Yeah, and have one of those sort of like Ghost Hunters or like Search for Bigfoot on like season 1 billion. It's like, how on earth do you
Actually, we should go searching for Bigfoot on the side of the mountains. Let's do it. Why not?
No, I've seen
A Bigfoot?
Smosh do it. It doesn't go so well for them.
Smosh? Oh, you mean... I love Smosh, by the way. But you mean that...
Yeah,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, look at him. He's digging. Oh, it's so cute.
Why do I have the sudden desire to shoot that?
I have the sudden desire to shoot you. No.
Wow, that's mean.
I'm kidding.
I'd probably miss.
You definitely would miss.
No, I wouldn't.
But he is so cute. How can you not like him? Look at him.
I don't have anything. Yeah,
He's minding his own business. He's burying his little nut.
my daughter says he's gonna forget it.
He probably won't. He's not like my dog. She just buries big bones inside of her backyard, and she never finds them again. I'm like, don't you know where it's at? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, dogs are strange creatures.
They're also very cute creatures. Oh, I got kittens.
I saw that on your
I
Instagram.
am obsessed with these babies, okay? Like, right before I came here, I was with the babies, okay? And now they're playing around. They know how to run. Like, 4 weeks ago, they did not know how to run. They were in my palm. And they were just squeaking a little bit and kissing me with their cute faces. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, cats.
I'm gloating over babies.
Whenever I think of cats, I think of the ancient Mage's Bride.
I always think of Egypt too sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
My Baby Kitten was literally laying how, like, most of the statues are, like, made. And I was like,
For
"They're
those
so
who understand what I'm referring to, you'll understand.
Oh, but yeah.
Man, I was actually kind of hoping Susan would be here so I could talk to her about the Ancient Mage's Bride. I don't know if she's continued reading the manga or not.
No, I don't think so.
Probably not.
She's been doing a lot more than that recently.
Well, we can get into that after we turn the pause button and turn the recording off.
It's been fun. It's been fun. A lot of fun.
But what's another? I'm trying to think of one last film to talk about.
How about The Grillers? It's about the guys in the hood. No, it's a movie I'm making up right now.
Well, it's probably still better than that stupid corn maze film, horror, whatever it was. That was so weird. I think it was like The Tall Grass or something.
Oh wait, I'm not even lying though. There is a movie I just watched recently about some guys in the hood. It's the British hood though.
Oh,
It's not like a normal hood. And they were like, there was like aliens invading and stuff. And I thought it was gonna be so cheesy, right? I was like, this is something cheesy. It turned into such a good movie. I was like, I was feeling bad when one of the characters died. I was in it for them. I was like, you better not, die. I was screaming at them like, don't run down that corridor. Like, yeah, but I'm happy that it turned out the way it did. Like, that movie was awesome.
Man, I haven't gotten into a movie like that or a show like that in a long time.
Show? I've been following a lot of shows, but
What was the last? The last show I remember going.
have you watched any scary shows recently? I
What
mean, I've
was-
watched you, but I haven't even gotten to finish like the, the
What was
last
it?
episode.
Oh, the things.
Last
that
season.
Oh, what was it called? I don't remember. I'm losing my train of thought.
Do you know what 28 weeks later is? 28 weeks later?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Or 28. Oh, was it days later?
28
Both of them. It doesn't matter. Like, they're
28
both
days later?
awesome. Yeah. Like, they show you what to do inside of, like, that kind of scenario of an
Mm.
apocalyptic zombie scenario. Like, as a chick, probably don't go to the government. Because they could just take you and rape you. And you don't really want that to happen.
Speaking of things that start with Speaking of things that are along those terms, Goblin Slayer is freaking
Oh,
awesome.
you've got to be kidding me.
It's so... Okay, granted, it's not exactly horror to some, but to me it kind of is. I mean, you have goblins, which are... Oh, man, they're depicted
I don't think they're very
almost
scary.
perfectly.
Do they actually look realistic?
Well, to be fair, it's 2D animation, so they're as realistic as they can make it.
Yeah, I get it.
Oh, man, Goblin Slayer is so good. To me, it's a masterpiece.
Dragon Gopa. Sorry.
I mean, just the way they use the main character and the characters around him, just awesome. Total badass. And it pissed off a bunch of weak-minded ones, which I thought was funny.
No.
They did. I mean, they couldn't handle episode 1, which I thought was kind of funny. Because episode 1 is the only episode that's kind of like it's the only episode where you see the level of violent that the goblins can be. Well, besides the movie, but I haven't gotten to that one yet.
Alright.
Man, that was violent too. Very violent show. And speaking of animes with violence, The Ancient Mage's Bride is freaking awesome. I'm working on a video about that.
Hip hop.
So good. Man, was it good? Gives me hope one day. If a creature with a skull for a head can find one, hopefully I will too.
You got sap all over that.
I thought it was dandruff for a second there.
Oh, whoa. That's a lot of dandruff, my guy.
Yeah.
It's like, it's all from my beard. All of it.
Man, I shaved too.
Yep. Alright.
Well, I think that's
That's pretty much it.
pretty much it. So, anyways, guys, this is Ryan SR2264, and
Closing out.
this is where you state your name, and then I say.
I am Zay. That's it. I'm Zay.
Alrighty then. So, peace.
Pizzeria.